What does a garbage bag, a CPAP machine, and zip ties have in common? Well, I'm going to tell you. I work in a profession where I have the unfortunate ability to see a lot of people getting canned for not meeting the requirements for 4 hours a night on their CPAP machines. It's really hard to do, especially if you struggle with it. I myself find myself taking it off in the middle of the night, not even realizing that I do it. So what I'm going to tell you here, you gotta like, you gotta save for the algorithm here, okay? We want everybody that can see this to see this. So now, I'm going to show you how to beat the system. Using that garbage bag, zip tie, and your CPAP machine. I forgot to use my machine last night. Well, I didn't forget. I didn't want to. And here, you can see, if I turn it on, I had 5 minutes used last night. Now, in order for this to work, there's a setting you gotta mess with on your CPAP. First, go into your home. Go into your options. You want to see that ramp time. You want that ramp time to be off. Now, I got the ResMed AirSense 11. This is going to work for any machine you have. Don't matter, old generation, new, whatever. The important thing is, you're going to want to shut off that ramp time. Alright, so we're going to go up here and take the hose. Take the zip ties. Then we're going to take the bag, throw it at the hose. Then when that hose magically connects itself to the garbage bag. You didn't believe that, did you? You guessed it, those zip ties. Now pay attention to the next part, because it's really important. Take the bag, stick it on the hose about halfway down the bag there. Before I get too far ahead, let me tell you what kind of bag you need. It needs to be a flex bag. The kind of bag that I have is called Glade Force Flex. Why Force Flex, do you ask? Those are the expensive kind. Why can't I use a cheap kind? Well, pay attention. Then, of course, you use your zip tie. Make sure it's nice and snug. No air leaks. Or keep the air leaks to a minimal. Push that power button. Watch the garbage bag expand like a balloon. You essentially just created a lung. When the bag looks like this and sounds like that, now that sprung a leak. Let's fix it. Shut the machine off. These bags can be a little cheap, especially if the Glade kind. They seem to rip a little bit. So if they do rip, just tie it. Or in this case, we developed a hole right there, right in front of that zip tie. So just move another zip tie in front of that hole. Like so. Then you guessed it, turn the machine on. You're going to listen for this sound. Now let me just say it's important to use your CPAP if you need it. It's a medical device and it should be used. This video is only meant to be used in case of an emergency. Not being able to get that full night. I myself take my mask off midway, about the 2.5 hour mark. I don't even realize I do it. Another disclaimer. Your doctor's not going to believe that you slept for 24 hours. So make sure you shut the thing off before you hit that mark. Because if you forget about the balloon and you head to work, your doctor's going to think you slept for a full 15, 16 hours. Where he'll believe it one time, he's not going to believe it every time. Alright, it's been running for a few minutes. Let's see what it's at. Now you see why it needs to be force flex. You just created a lung for your CPAP. Like I said, be careful. It's really easy to forget about. It's hard to explain to your doctor if you sleep for 17 hours a day for 4 days in a row. Use it wisely. Again, if you have a prescription for a CPAP machine, it's safe to assume that you need it. So you should really only use this to keep in compliance from losing your job. It's too tough out here for us to be losing our jobs over this type of crap. You're welcome.